Greetings and welcome back. This is part 2 of my restoration of my little Philco 41-221C vacuum tube radio. It was built way back in 1941. As you can see, it turned out really nice, looks good, and it's a really good receiver. It's a beautiful day out here, so there's a breeze going and you might hear the wind chimes in the background. I'm sitting out here on the patio. But I want to talk about the wood case first. And it didn't take too much work. I sanded it completely down to the veneer down as much as I could to get to the original veneer that was on there. And what I like to do in these old cases sometimes is the veneer, you could see the cracks in it because it was dried out from age. But I have some of this Deft product from Deft. They don't make this anymore, and it's an oil-based, highly flammable, but it really works good to treat wood, especially old veneer. You just either brush this on heavy, or with a rag you can, but get it on there real heavy, get it good and wet, and let it sit for a half hour, because it's going to soak in and it's going to help condition that old veneer. And after about a half hour, you wipe it off with some clean rags, paper towels, whatever, and make sure that you dispose of those rags immediately, because in a container, put some water in it and let them soak for a while, because they're highly volatile. This stuff will catch fire really easy. They talk about spontaneous combustion, and it happens. But once you wipe it all down, and it's not a shiny finish, it's more like a satin finish. If you let it set, I suppose you could put some clear on it, but I choose to use this product by Howard, and it's a beeswax base furniture polish that soaks in, and it works nice and it helps condition and does put a shine to it. So a couple coats of that and it protects it. I don't think I have any issues with it. It works fine on a lot of these old units. Now, I did learn a valuable lesson about 3D printed parts. I've never messed with that. Actually, that's a hobby I won't get into because I have too many now and my finances are limited. But I ordered a 3D front bezel. As you can see, the old bezel was made from the old Tenite, and they tend to degrade over the years. You can see how bad it looked. But I bought one of these on eBay. It was 3D printed, and you sanded it down. It started out with some 80 grit, some 120 grit, 220 grit, and I finished it off with 400 to smooth out all those print lines on it, and worked pretty good. Then I gave it a spray paint because I wanted to I wanted to match close to the wood cabinet on there, so that worked out pretty good. But as again, you can see the differences. And with this, I found out I had it painted the first one, and it was on top of a barrel that I painted it on in the garage with the garage door open. And the afternoon sun, it was hot that day, 89 degrees, came in and sat on that bezel for a while, and you could see, look what happened to it. So I learned a hard lesson. Don't leave this stuff out in the sun, because it is going to warp as soon as it heats up a little bit. Well, one other thing I did on the chassis, if you look at the first video, the restoration, because I completely tore it down, I replaced all the wiring, all the components, capacitors, resistors, tube sockets. I spent a lot of time on this radio, but it came out really nice. And the speaker was shot, and it had a choke coil magnet for the voice coil for the speaker, because they didn't use permanent magnets sometimes back in those days. But I wanted to replace it with a regular speaker, which I did. And I built out this really small regulator circuit, and it keeps the voltage at 90 degrees, or 90 degrees, yeah, at 90 volts perfect, regardless of the input voltage. So you can see the original schematic here, how it was, and here's the schematic that I fixed it and added in that little power supply. Plus a couple of the changes, couple things were marked wrong on the original schematic, so I fixed that too. Now, I mentioned in the first video that I mounted it under the chassis, and that transistor, it got a little hot after running a while. And working with a couple of the guys over at the Philco radio forum, we were talking about this, and we talked about the need for the heat sink, and I had a smaller one in there, but it still needed a bigger heat sink. And I didn't want to cut up the chassis, because in case I came across an original speaker sometime, you never know, and a unit that was maybe pretty trash and the speaker was good, I could actually replace it and put the original back in. But I mounted the output transformer on top of the new speaker and used this circuit. But what I did was I mounted it on a heat sink and mounted it right next to the chassis, as you can see. And what I did was I put the tip 50 transistor on a little piece of perf board, and so I could put the wires on it, and ran it on the inside and mounted it on the heat sink, and that worked out really well. And I thought, you could probably make a small PC board with the components on it and mount it right on a heatsink this size, and you could use it on any project, and also put a variable resistor in there to set whatever voltage you needed on the radio you were using it on. So that might be something in the future. But other than that, that's what I ended up with. And if you want to see more on the restoration that I did with the chassis, watch the first video, as I said, I had to tear it down. Even the IF transformers, I had to tear apart and replace all the wiring, because that rubber coated wire was just falling apart. So if you have any comment, any questions, by all means leave them. And you have a good day, and God bless.